on a 40K lesson with Man 957. Today, I will teach something I forgot to teach earlier. And it's how to set up the battle. Not to make it fair, that was a past lesson. That should have been my first lesson. And this should be after how to make it fair. How to start the game. Where do you start? And everything like that. Now, you think this wouldn't include dice rolls, but it does. Right? So I just get that right there. Now I case the dice. Case the dice, case the dice. Let me just find my tape measure. Jeez, I had it right over here. No, found it. Alright, now like I said in my last video of some advice for the orcs, I mentioned that you're supposed to be within 12 inches of the board. Now, you could do 6, you can decide because I have no idea. I'm honestly going to go for 12, but some researchers say 6, but whatever. Now, over here you will see, last video I did orcs, and in last video I did orcs and not Space Marines. Now believe it or not, this is even, it's 170 points, and we're gonna set, first I was just gonna set up the Space Marines, but I decided to do both. So, now the first thing we do is each player is going to grab 2 dice. Alright, the purple one will be the Space Marines, and the red will be the orcs. Now whoever rolls higher gets to pick what side he wants to be on. Alright, I just rolled them over here. And we got 4, 4, and there's 3. I turned them up so you can see them, but 4 and 3. Now, since the red dice was the orcs get to pick, and I'm just gonna put them on this side because they're already set up, and I don't want to make this too lengthy. So the orc player has picked this side, right here. All right. So after they get everything out there, guys, on that side and whatever, then they take another 2 dice. This time, right, Space Marine purple, orcs red. Now this dice roll is deciding who has to go first. The highest roll is to decide. Now, you can either make the other person goes first, which means that I have to set up their guys first, and then you'd set up, and then they get to go first in the actual game. But if you set up first, then they set up, and then you get to go first. Now there's benefits both ways. Like if you make them set up first, you can set your guys up and like strategize while they're setting up. Like you can set them up to their guys, so you have slight of an advantage. But and the other advantage, and if you don't really have strategies, if you don't really have one, you don't know one, then I guess you could just go first and it wouldn't be a big deal. But you should always try to make them go first. So the red dice orcs, purple dice Space Marines. Oh, that's Snake Eyes. Snake Eyes there. And the Space Marine one. So the Space Marines get to pick, and they made the orcs set up first. So the orcs set up first. Now, all of these guys are orc boys here, and then all those are tactical marines. So, I'm just gonna set up my guys. Remember, they have to be within 12 inches. So let me just set up my tape measure right there. Alright. So they can be within the 12-inch mark. Now, Alright, so everything has to be behind the line. Now, if you looked at my orc videos, you would know that I want to get my shooters over to my hole over there. Now, if the orcs are going first, it's going to be hard to decide which hole they're going to want to go in. And either way, if the orc player is smart enough, he'll be wrong. Now, I'm going to put him here because it's right near the camera. So I'll just put my long ranging squad right here. Where's my rocket launcher? I know I put one in here. There's one in here. Do you guys see it? What am I asking? The camera's not even on it. Can you see it anywhere? Oh, there it is. There we go. There. So I'll just put that in with those. Remember, this is a lot more stronger than the big shooters, so just keep that in mind. Ooh, well, is that in 12 inches? No, it's not, so we're going to have to back it up. Just a little, and then in the movement phase, you can move it up to where you want it. But I'd call this covered. I don't know, I think I'd call this covered. I guess you could work it out before you start, but... So there's that. Now, the close range, like medium range squad, as I like to call it, for the shooters I'm going to set up. Now, they're going to have to do a little bit of travel, but you want to set them up as close as you can get them. Now, since the game hasn't started yet, I think we can measure to see how far we're going to have to be to hit most of what's on the board. Now, as for my past videos, they were right here. But maybe a different selection this time just to get them up faster. So, if I'm right here, I'd be able to get a pretty good radius, but I'll check it here, and that's pretty good. Yeah, so I'm going to do what's right behind you right there. I think I'm going to do it right there. Yeah, well, then again. Now I think I'm going to put it right there. Right on those racks. So I'll set them up there. So, because if I put it there, then it might not be able to fire. Because you have to make sure the gun is lined up perfectly with the target. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Is that all the shooters? One more. Can't see it very well altogether, but... Alright, so that's the shooter squad, but oh yeah. Almost forgot. It has to be within 12 inches. Yeah, I keep on forgetting that. I feel so guilty. Because I can't get it to stand up. So if we want it right there, I'm going to have to take it, and move it back way over here, like that. Okay. We'll get it up as close as we can. Now, after we do that, now the orcs are going to be able to move first, so I don't really worry about getting them covered right now. So I should be okay, because moving 6 inches, they should be able to get behind the blockade. Not necessarily right next to it, but let me just see. So if it travels 6 inches, yeah, it should be behind the blockade, but these guys that were just behind the rock would have to go around it. And like I said, now I wish I moved that before we started this video, but you're really not supposed to, because it kind of screws up the game and how someone else had a strategy. But since this is an informational and teaching video, I think I can take it out. But remember, you're not allowed to do this, okay? So I'll just move it right there. Alright, and then I can move it up a tiny bit. Because it was, yeah, so that'd be good. Alright, now that you have that squad set up, now there's no special squad here besides the long range squad, I guess, but so now I guess you want to set up your, you know what, just hit me if you want to get the orc. That worries me a little bit. No, I should be okay because I'll be able to get behind the blockade. But I was just thinking if I started here at the max, then how are the other boys supposed to get in front of it? But then I thought, well, it's already behind the blockade, and if it was closer, then I guess it'd be fine. But get behind. So these are already behind the blockade, so I should be fine just putting it behind them. And then when they get to their spot, then they can get up there, alright? So that's what I'm doing. Now, as you can see over here, there's kind of a blockage right here for me guys to spread out. So I'm going to have to put them a little bit behind them, unfortunately. Alright, so I'll just put my 12-inch marker right here. And give it a couple there. Alright, I'm up to 11 minutes. I might get cut off and then I have to do the Space Marine parts next lesson. Now, if I end up having to do that, I might just set up the Orcs and not the Space Marines. Even though that kind of makes me sad because I kind of did the Orcs last time. You know, I like variety, but... So I'm going to try to speed this up a little bit. Now, remembering they have to be within 2 inches of another person in the squad. But if they die, you just have to adjust that next turn. Don't do it in the middle of the opponent's turn. Alright, so that's set up. Now they're set up. You know, it's just like one squad, so I think I should be okay with one part. Alright, so now they're set up. And then, so with them set up, the Space Marines get to declare their movement set up. Is the lighting good in this section of the room? I think it's okay. I think it's actually better because it's... Sorry, I accidentally kicked the cord. Alright. So if I just... The lighting's actually pretty much better because it's not so bright. Alright. So with 12 inches. Now remembering Space Marines, when you're against Orcs and you're a Space Marine player out there, sometimes it's best to hang back and only get far enough so you're in range for your weapons. Unless you have a really good assault thing, but getting away from the point. So I'm blabbering as I'm getting things ready. Alright, so since this is a one squad deal, some of these are missing pieces and sort of bad, but water. Put that one there. Remembering they have to be within 12 inches, but that guy's missing his backpack. It's got a pretty good backpack with a bolt gun on the side of it, so now it can shoot. Wait, I'm not sure how many points to add to it, but if you want to see the backpack, it's not fully painted, but here. Now that both guys are set up, the Orcs start the movement phase, which you know how to do if you've seen my past video. If you don't, then go and watch it. It's on my channel, Duran957. Next time might not be a lesson because I might have a friend over tomorrow, Demon Wags, and we might have a battle. You know Demon Wags because I told you to go to his channel and he told me to go to my channel. So I'll see you probably tomorrow. Thanks for watching.